Good evening and welcome everyone who's here in person and those who are joining us remotely. Today is Wednesday, August 13th, 2025, and we are here for a board work session of the Board of Trustees of Harlandale ISD. Meeting is called to order at 6:15. We will open up roll call of the trustees here in attendance right now. Okay, voting is open. Okay. We do have a quorum. If Ms. Ortiz joins us, we will make sure that our minute meetings reflects that. Mr. Soto, would you let us know who's here from cabinet and staff, please?
Yes, Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, HISD Community. This evening, we have our Assistant Superintendent for Business, Mr. Flores.
Here.
We have our Executive Director of Operations, Dr. Hinojosa.
Here.
We have our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction, Ms. Casey.
Here.
We have our Executive Director of Human Resources, Dr. Salinas.
Here.
And we have our Director of Communications, Ms. Garza.
Here.
Thank you, Mr. Soto. Ms. Ortiz has joined us. Hello, Ms. Ortiz. Next on the agenda is agenda item 2, public comment. No public signed up for a comment, correct, Patty? Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, moving on to agenda item 3. Who's present? Oh, I'm so sorry. So the board focused on student outcomes 48% of the time. I'm going to say it again, 48% of the time in the July work session and regular board meetings. So applause to everybody. Yes, I had special effects. I had special effects for that. So moving on to agenda item 4, the board will conduct a work session with the superintendent and staff. Agenda item 5, Texas Instructional Leadership presentation.
Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, we'd like to welcome Ms. Trevino in her new position as School Improvement Coordinator.
Good evening, President Cavazos, members of the board, Superintendent Soto, cabinet members, and distinguished guests. My name is Victoria Trevino, and I serve as the District Coordinator for School Improvement. We have started the process of implementing the Texas Instructional Leadership Model, and I would like to share that information with you all tonight. Not presented up here. Okay, so our partnership with Region 20, so our district has been given an opportunity to partner with Region 20 to participate in the Texas Instructional Leadership, the TIL. And our goals are for increased instructional leadership capacity across districts and campus, improved teaching practices and student achievement, and stronger collaborative professional learning communities. And so what is the Texas Instructional Leadership TIL? It's a professional development initiative supported by the Texas Education Agency designed to help school and district leaders strengthen instructional leadership skills in order to improve student outcomes. TEAL supports the ESF essential actions to include school-wide culture and routines. It also, we are also going to focus on the materials internalization and alignment, the MIA. That has to do with our Bluebonnet, the new curriculum that we're going to be implementing. We'll be supporting our administrators learn that process as well. So we know that our teachers are going to be supported, but we're also going to be supporting the administrators as well. And then observation and feedback. The Texas Instructional Leadership Pillars of Learning. So you'll see that with the TEAL, there's going to be opportunity for face-to-face professional development. There's also going to be implementation support with embedded coaching, and then one-on-one coaching, skill building. And so that's the TEAL Pillars of Learning. And so just to give the board and cabinet an idea of what the timeline looks like, the roadmap for implementation. For elementary, the year one, we're going to be focusing on school-wide culture and routines. We're also going to be focusing on material internalization alignment, MIA, and that's going to be support and coaching, again, you know, for our administrators and making sure that we're getting all of the information that we need for our Bluebonnet curriculum. And then we're also going to focus on observation and feedback. The second year is going to focus on data-driven instruction, and so that's going to be elementary. For secondary, year one, school-wide culture and routines, observation and feedback, and then year two is going to be the data-driven instruction as well. And so I wanted to share some of the work that we've done up until this point. We know principals came back in July. They've been working very hard. We're looking at operational procedures at campuses. Principals selected one operational procedure that they wanted to focus on. We created a plan for implementation. Basically, it's a step-by-step procedure. It's kind of like a handbook for staff to know exactly what the expectations are, and so that we could roll it out and have, you know, hopefully a smooth transition. So we went through the process in effort to eventually work on other parts of the operational procedures, but this was the beginning of it. And so I will say that the principals worked really hard with their teams, and we got to see some of it today, the first day rollout. They did present it to their teachers and staff, and so they presented it, they practiced it, they, you know, did the role model with their teams. And so just for the next steps, again, we know that this is a year, it's going to be a 2-year program that will be with working together with Region 20. But the next steps are going to be campuses. They already introduced the routine to campuses and implemented the procedure on the first day of school. Leadership teams will monitor their progress. Walkthroughs will take place to record data, and adjustments will be made if necessary. And then we're also looking at support from Harlandale School Board, support implementation of all LASSO grant, strong foundation work, Bluebonnet implementation, PLC and TEAL, and then continue to support future strong foundation work, possible math, HQIM implementation, and understand the process of implementation for all efforts will take time. And that's just an overview of the TEAL. Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions? Ms. Ortiz?
Yes, I have a few. You say we, I'm assuming it's your team. How many team members do you have?
When I say we, I mean Mr. Littlefoot and I are working together with the TEAL, but of course all of, you know, Ms. Casey and then the principals. And so the principals, the administrative teams, and so, you know, we're working collaboratively together for that support effort.
And I have another question. So what's the timeline that y'all visit? Do you visit each of the campuses once a month, or?
We are on a biweekly schedule, so we're setting our meetings to meet with principals biweekly. So the focus is going to be the TEAL campuses, but I'm also going to be working with campuses that are non-TEAL on the opposite week. So my goal is to see and work with all of the principals.
Ms. Trevino, can you add, Ms. Trevino, can you add the Region 20 support as well?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. We also have coaches from Region 20. So the coaches are working with myself and Mr. Littlefield, and we're going through that process. So we have 2 coaches, one for elementary and one for secondary.
Any questions or comments? I have just one question, Mr. Vigneault. When you say we spoke to the principals, this list is what they are hoping to emphasize on as far as implementation of some procedures?
So
'Cause
that
it
is.
looks like most of them are beginning of day procedures, like getting the kids in, settling them down, and then start your day in the class.
Yes, that's correct. And so they selected the routine that they wanted. We are focusing on, we also use emergent trees, so we're focusing on the connections with the students. And so a big part of what we're looking at is, how teachers are interacting when students are coming to school. What does that greeting look like? We're doing a temperature check on how students are feeling. So we're aligning systems, we're putting systems in place where they have like a picture that the students will show them when they're coming in, and then they do some sort of greeting. Some of them are doing like fist bumps or, a high five, but definitely to make the student feel welcome and to acknowledge if they're not feeling well for the day so that we can address it. And hopefully that will provide support so that the student can, have a successful day. And so that was really the push for, what we were trying to get our principals to implement. And we've been using also Emergent Tree as a resource for that as well.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. Anybody else? Mr. Luna?
Madam Chair, it begs the question, which ones are campuses are till and non-till? What was the criteria to determine?
So we have a total of 6 campuses, 3 elementaries, 2 middle schools, and 1 high school that were determined to be till based on the 2023 data.
I don't have a question, I have a statement. I'm just super excited to be able to see how this is going to continue to support the classroom management in the classrooms and to be able to help us reach our strategic plan, our goal with implementing these supports in the district. So thank you for that.
And I just wanted to share one of the success and celebrations that I saw was at Kingsborough Middle School this morning in the afternoon. And so after school, one of the teachers came to tell Dr. Joyner that, they felt very happy because Dr. Joyner, welcomed them with the fist bump. So, seeing it in action was a good thing. And it was the first day. So just wanted to share that with you guys.
Yes, Madam Chair, to piggyback off that and Ms. Salazar, you made a good point. It's about helping our students in the campus, right? And having us work as a team. And I believe TA saw that. And TA, if you guys remember those 2 individuals that presented to us in the spring, Mr. Jeff and Mr. Chris, we were part of the TSL. And so when TA saw the things that we have here at Harlandale to support our campuses, and one was going to be this till, they saw it as redundant work. And so when they saw us take the leap to already have supporting our campuses, they removed TSL from us. And so it was not mandated anymore for the board to get training and for admin. So just an FYI.
Thank you, Mr. Soto. Anybody else?
And just to clarify, which campuses are till and which are not? So do we need a?
So we have Vestal Elementary, Bel Air, Stonewall Flanders, Leal, Harlandale Middle School, and Harlandale High School.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. Mr. Mancha?
Madam Chair, are we going to do the same thing at Tejeda maybe?
We are working with all of the campuses. It's just that those 6 campuses are the ones that were selected for the teal, but I will be working with them. And so the HEDA also participated in, all of the campuses participated in the development for the school-wide culture and routines, and they're going to continue to participate in the other development as well. And so the campuses will participate, but the teal campuses were the ones that were identified based on the data, the previous data.
Okay, thank you.
So just for clarification, not one of our campuses is going to be left out in implementing these. They're just not, some of them are not considered in the teal program.
Yes, and there's going to be some trainings that will be focused with the teal campuses, but they're going to be going through the same processes.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. Anybody else?
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I agree with Ms. Salazar. It's a great idea, and that's why I brought up Tejeda, because it's a motivational thing.
Yes.
It's when you feel the child or feel any young adult comfortable when he walks in or comes in, it's very well used by a lot of gangs, unfortunately. When a child that's going to be join a gang, they feel welcome. So we turn it around and focus on making them feel welcome at school. Usually they're told school's not fun, school's this, school's that. So it's not comfortable. So when we're able to greet them with a fist bump, a high five, it's just a motivational thing. And, so that, I think that's a great idea, and I think it should show results.
I agree. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you, Mr. Vino.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda item 6. Mr. Flores?
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Soto, Superintendent of Schools. Item 6 is the donations to the school district. The school district received 2 donations during the month of July, and one of them was for $800 and one for $2,700, both to the Human Resources Department for the new employee orientation.
Any questions for Mr. Flores? Okay, Mr. Flores, you're next on the next agenda item as well, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I have a few listed. The following one is the quarterly investment report for the quarter ended June 30th, 2025. On page 14 of your board book, you have the transmittal information that has a summary of the investment report. Overall, the general fund had a $500,520 interest earned and a decrease of $10,440,341. Our general facilities fund for basically our bond funds for 2022 sustained a decrease of $4,546,210 from the previous quarter. The district continues to work with the architects and general contractors on the projects, including the multi-use facility, the all-weather track improvements at both high schools, and the upcoming tennis courts at Frank Tejeda Sports Complex. Our health insurance fund continues to fluctuate based on payments and for services rendered to staff. Settlement fund and stadium fund both saw only interest earnings, no other activity. The facility assessment fund had a decrease from the prior quarter of $244,000. This fund holds our maintenance tax notes for the school district, so we continue to utilize those for construction and allowable renovations. And our debt service fund, we had tax collections and overall an increase of $1,090,490, which included $175,495 of interest. In addition, the district realized $91,040 of interest on the QSCB investments. So the overall quarterly investment report is in page 15, 16, and 17 of your board book.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. Any questions or comments for Mr. Flores? Okay, agenda item 8, Mr. Flores?
Yes, ma'am. This item is for the Bexar County Appraisal District's certified tax roll. So the district did receive from the chief appraiser of the Bexar County Appraisal District, received the certified tax roll on July 18th, 2025. And it is part of your board book starting on page 20. The overall certified tax roll is for net taxable values of $2,657,446,572. This is the certified roll as of July 18th. In addition, the Bexar County Appraisal District has provided Supplement 279, which accounts for the additional homestead exemption, which is likely to become law in November of 2025. This amount will provide a new taxable value of $2,327,190,208. An overall reduction of $344,702,697. So the district's asking for approval of the certified tax roll as presented.
Any questions or comments for Mr. Flores on agenda item 8? Okay, moving on, Mr. Flores?
Yes, ma'am. Item 9 is discuss the no new revenue tax rate and the voter approval tax rate for the tax year 2025 for the school district. The district intention is to have the board approve the tax rate next board meeting at a maintenance and operations tax rate of 0.7575 and the deck tax rate of 50 cents for an overall rate of $1.2575 per $100 valuation. So this is the no new revenue tax rate is being calculated, and we're pending approval from Bexar County, but it will be in your board book on Monday's agenda. The current calculation shows it at $1.18.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. Any questions or comments for Mr. Flores to agenda item 9? Okay, moving on to agenda item 10, Mr. Flores?
This item is, goes together really with item number 9. It does, the Board of Trustees is required by section 44.004 of the Education Code to publish the notice of public meeting to discuss the budget and approved the tax rate. The district did this and discussed it during the June 16th, 2025 board meeting. The notice contained the district's proposed tax rate for the year 2025 and presented 2 separate components, the M&O rate and the INS rate. The tax rate that is ultimately adopted for the year 2025 may not exceed the proposed rate shown in the notice unless the district publishes a revised notice and holds another public meeting to discuss the revised notice. The recommendation, staff recommends that the board adopt a tax rate of $1.2575. The tax rate does not exceed the proposed published rate, and it has no change from last year's tax rate.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. Any comments or questions to Mr. Flores on agenda item 10? No? Was that your last one, Mr. Flores?
Yes, that was.
Thank you, Mr. Flores.
Thank
And
you.
reminder to my colleagues and note to myself, if we have any questions or comments, we can always email Mr. Soto and he will direct those emails and questions to Mr. Flores for a response. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda item 11.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Beverly Hubbard. I'm the Employee Benefits Coordinator, and I am here to discuss items 11 and 12. But beginning with 11, the district's casualty and general liability insurance has been sourced by insurance broker Richard Bass with Insurica and provided through a renewed 3-year interlocal agreement with carrier Property and Casualty Alliance of Texas, or PCAT. Casualty and liability insurance covers general liability, law enforcement liability, cyber loss and liability, school board legal liability, educators legal liability, automobile liability, and auto physical damage. In addition to premium, consideration in selecting an insurance carrier includes the following: deductible amounts for comprehensive losses and liability losses, policy limits on additional coverage, availability of a rate guarantee for multiple years, and the PCAT quote is an interlocal agreement that was issued with a renewed 3-year agreement. The recommendation is for board consideration and to take approval to renew casualty and liability coverage with the Property and Casualty Alliance of Texas effective September 1, 2025 for a 1-year term with a premium of $312,462. This premium reflects a 4.5% increase from the previous year, and the premium will be paid from the district general fund.
Thank you, Ms. Hubbard. Any questions? I have a quick question. So this is an increase from last year's premium.
Correct.
Is the year before that, was that an increase as well?
It was a slight increase as
Okay.
well. This is a predictable increase.
Okay. And then the one-year term, has it always been a 1-year term, or this is going to be?
So the 1-year term is based on the premium that's been offered for this coverage. The interlocal agreement with PCAT, they offered a 3-year renewal.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. Any comments or questions to Ms. Hubbard on agenda item 11? Okay. Agenda item 12, Ms. Hubbard, please.
Agenda item 12. In May 2024, an RFP for property insurance services was awarded to broker USI Southwest Incorporated, and the coverages for the prior year with Zurich American Insurance Company, which consisted of $50 million coverage in property and $10 million wind and hail for a premium of $849,147. The quoted coverage and rate increase the wind and hail coverage by $15 million with a premium decrease of $106,774 as compared to the prior year. In addition to the premium, consideration in selecting an insurance carrier includes the following: policy limits on buildings and contents, deductible amounts for physical property loss, including wind and hail and other perils, policy sublimits on alternate loss types. The renewal of property insurance was sourced through layered insurance carriers for this year, with Zurich, Arc Specialty, Swiss, Beasley, and Homeland. The quoted policy of 50 million property and 25 million wind and hail for a total premium of $742,372 to be effective September 1, 2025 for a term of 1 year. Board consideration and approval to renew coverage with these layered insurance carriers as the district's property insurance carrier insurance for a term of 1 year. The premium to be paid out of the district's general fund.
Any questions for Ms. Hubbard? I actually have a question. If you can reiterate so that I can understand. So we have more coverage, but our premium went down?
That's correct.
Okay, I thought that's what I heard, but I wanted to double check.
Sorry.
Okay,
Our
so,
wind and hail went up by 15 million to 25 million total coverage for wind and hail with a decrease in premium for a term of 1 year.
thank you. I thought I heard that, but I wanted to confirm. Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Hubbard?
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Hubbard, so the item before that 11, more or less 4%, 4.5% of 300,000, it's going to cost the district an additional 12,000. But with this one, we're going to be reduced 100 and something thousand, correct? So it kind of helps out situations.
Yes, sir, for two different coverages, but yes, the increase in premium for the casualty and liability is somewhat negated by the 106,000 decrease in premium for the property.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hubbard. Any other questions or comments for Ms. Hubbard? Okay, thank you, Ms. Hubbard.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda item 13. Mr. Salinas?
Mr. Salinas, the board wants to know your first day as a transportation director, that all the kids got home safely, right?
Sorry. That was the goal today. The goal today was to get them picked up and get them home. I believe we've done that. So we're going to work really hard. I owe the board an apology apparently for the last 2 times that I was up here. I kind of talked very loud. So we're going to show tremendous growth today, and we're going to keep it to this level right here. If the board would turn to page 39 in their board book for the transmittal information, would like the board to consider and review the purchase of 2 77-passenger school buses from Longhorn Bus Sales utilizing by board contract 722-23. Funding will come from the general fund. The district has budgeted 2 77-passenger buses in efforts to replenish and maintain its fleet and ensuring transporting students safely and efficiently as possible. Currently, we maintain about 60 buses. 19 of them are 15 years or older. The district staff we requested several quotes on June 17th and from vendors that were on the buy board cooperative. After 10 days, 3 quotes were received. Staff from the Most Department reviewed all 3 quotes and determined that the Longhorn Bus Sales best meets the needs of the district. Staff recommends the purchase of 2 77-passenger international school bus from Longhorn Bus Sales. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salinas. Any questions for Mr. Salinas?
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Yes, Ms. Reese.
Mr. Salinas, we have 60 buses. Are all 60 currently running? Or are there any in maintenance waiting to get fixed?
Yes, they're constantly coming in and out. We had quite a bit in. One of the big things that I wanted to try to hit really hard when I took over was to ensure that our route buses and our field trip buses had AC. That was a big thing. We're about 3/4 there. But it's an ongoing thing. When you get one fixed, and you get another one coming in, and the mechanics are working really hard to put them back in the rotation.
Thank you. And thank you to the mechanics working on those really hard to get them back on the road.
Yes.
Any comments or questions? I actually have a question, Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Salinas. If you know off the top of your head, when was the last time we purchased A school bus,
last time
like
we-
a brand new school bus.
The last time we purchased the buses was, I believe there was a grant back in 2019, 2020. They got about 14 buses or so. That was the last time that we had, that was purchased with that grant money.
Thank you, Mr. Salinas. Anybody else? Yes, we need to find another grant so we can have
Yes,
another
amen.
14 buses here,
Amen, yes.
all with air conditioning. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Salinas. Anybody else, any questions or comments? No? Okay, thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
Mr. Salinas. Moving on to agenda item 14. The board will discuss revisions to district policy BE local regarding new legislative requirements for board meetings from 72 hours to 3 business days. This is discussion only. We're not going to take any vote on it. Mr. Resendes?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the legislature is now requiring that we not post 72 hours before a meeting, but that we post 3 business days. And you don't count the day that you post and you don't count the day of the meeting. So for example, if we're going to have like our regular workshop on Wednesday, we would have to post the previous Thursday. So that means, so Friday is 1 business day, Monday, and then Tuesday, and then the meeting's on Wednesday. So Mr. Soto and I were talking about making sure that he and his team have at least a day or two between the workshop and having to post for the regular board meeting. So we talked, for example, about maybe keeping Wednesday regular workshop and then moving the regular meeting to the following Wednesday. But that gives Mr. Soto 1 full day of a Thursday, and then he has to post by the end of the day Thursday to comply with the law. Because as y'all know, when we have our workshop, sometimes, there might be a change or we have to adjust, and the team needs at least 1 business day. We talked about 2 or something like that, but then it kind of throws it off. And then Mr. Soto made a good point. He doesn't want like his whole team for the whole month just worrying about board meetings. And because also, so if we have the workshop on Wednesday, the regular meeting on Wednesday, where your agenda setting is the Wednesday before, so that's 3 Wednesdays. That's like 2.5 weeks of planning for 1 board meeting, which is like half the month. But that's kind of the tightest squeeze that we were able to kind of, just come up with as an example. The other alternative is have the workshop on Monday, and then the regular meeting the following Monday. But even then, the same principle applies. He'd only have 1 day to make any adjustments. So this is just a discussion. And the policy that's listed, that's the policy that talks about when we have our regular meeting. And right now, the policy just talks about the superintendent, because usually y'all approve all the meetings ahead of time. But the workshop's actually in our board operating procedure. So we're going to have to possibly adjust both the policy and the board operating procedures. Now, the 3 business days, well, the statute didn't provide a lot of guidance either on, okay, what does that really mean? Is it school district business days? Do holidays count? And so the conservative approach is, national, state holidays and days that the district is closed, those aren't business days. So there might be times where 3 business days before a meeting could be even more than what we're kind of anticipating. Does that make sense? So we're gonna just have to be real thoughtful if we have any special meetings, or usually around, the holiday time, we just gotta be, and in the summer too, just being aware of what days are business days. So that's one of the new changes for us to think about. I don't know if anybody has any questions for me or ideas, but I think, Mr. Soto, that was our tentative idea just to get y'all thinking. But I don't know if you've thought it any differently, sir.
No, you're on, Mr. Resendes. Thank you. But teacher work days, that is a business day for us. So
Yeah, that is a business day. If it's less than half your staff, then arguably not. So, so a teacher work day, you're doing business. Yeah.
Any comments or questions? So I have, and I'm just thinking out loud. So we have the work session today, and Monday we have our regular board meeting.
So the new law doesn't go into effect till September, but yes.
Yes, but let's pretend today is September.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm trying to, figure it out. Okay, so we come to a work session,
Mm-hmm.
and then we should have our regular board meeting the following Monday.
With the new law, if we wanted to do
That
that,
doesn't allow us
we
anymore.
would have to post our agenda on Tuesday.
Yes.
But
Okay.
yeah, we would have to post it yesterday.
Yes. uh-huh.
And that doesn't give us any time to have our workshop
Yes.
and then adjust if.
So either we have to consider moving the work session or moving the meeting.
Correct.
Okay.
have
My
a question.
colleagues, I'm turning to you for thoughts.
If,
Chair, it's just like we have to decide if we want to meet on Mondays or Wednesdays or Fridays.
Those were just the ideas,
Yeah.
but it's up to y'all.
We're not gonna meet on Fridays, so. I know football.
I think Mr.
And then
Ruiz had a question.
basketball and then track and.
Yes, Ms.
Men-
Reese?
so if we move the work session to Monday, that would make it the second Monday of the month?
Generally, unless we want to do it differently. Mr. Soto, I mean, I think we'd have to allow Mr. Soto to really figure out, and then there might be some months where we have to adjust depending on the holidays and, because, sir, I don't,
Yeah, good question, Mr. Reese. Just thinking, if we have the work session on Monday, then agenda setting needs to be, we need to push that back because we got to post those 3 days, so it'll be Tuesday, Wednesday,
so
Tuesday,
you can just send
Wednesday,
it, probably basically the Monday before, 3 Mondays in a row.
Monday, yeah.
So you have the work session, then you
It'll be
post on
Monday.
Tuesday, and then,
Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr. Mancha.
Okay, so when do y'all prepare the agenda? Before? Yes. When do y'all prepare this? I'm sorry, Ms. Patty, I put you on the spot.
I'm sorry, Mr. Reese.
That's okay.
Cabinet will give me their items the Monday, Tuesday before the agenda setting.
Okay, so if we were to post it on Tuesday and still have the session on Wednesday, because this is just informational. It's not like we're making any kind of decision. When we're here, this is informational. So it can be posted on Tuesday.
You're just forgetting about me, though. They'll submit items, and then I still have to work with them. There are some things that I need clarification. They need to come meet with me sometimes. So
They-
some of those
they do
items,
Monday, and then,
they turn in items Monday, they turn in backup documentation Tuesday. I review it, and then I have to clean it up. And then I meet with the officers that evening. So there's still a little time where I need with them that we need to clean up some things. So if
you
we,
need a gap in between.
because there might be an item that we're not going to put on there and we already said it, right? I see what you're saying is go ahead and post it, but then when I review it and it doesn't work out, we've already posted it. So we might have to just, but it's being a work session. I see what you're saying is, I guess during the work session, if we have an item on there and we decided to move it, right, Mr. Resendez, we can always just not speak about it.
Yeah, we could table it or we could postpone it. But remember, sir, not just for the administration, that's a big part of it. But then the board needs to be able to have their workshop and with a little bit of flexibility to add or take off. So the agenda, yeah, but I mean, I hear what you're saying. I mean, it could stay the way it is and do it, but then we just have
It
to,
was just a thought. I mean.
we just have to we would have to be aware of possibly pulling items.
Because when was
Table.
the last time that we really changed something in here that would have to be postponed?
Well, what happens sometimes is we're not changing, we're adding something. Like an issue comes up and then Mr. Soto and I will talk to the board president and say, should we add it? Because sometimes at the last minute, something will come up.
Or can we put that in closed session?
No, it can't. We have to have some level of specificity, depending on the issue.
Legal, something
Yeah,
legal?
yeah. But I hear what you're saying. That's not a bad idea. We just have to know that we can't add anything, and then also that we might end up tabling things if Mr. Soto's not ready. But that's to keep it the way it is, right? That was your thinking. Yeah. I hear you.
Okay, so there is no option right now that is the perfect option, unfortunately.
No.
I'm thinking about, and this is just me, I'm talking out loud. Would it be so bad that we go from a Monday board meeting to a Wednesday board meeting? So we have setting the agenda on a Wednesday, work session on a Wednesday, and then a meeting on a Wednesday. Would that give enough days to
That-
post and enough time for Mr. Soto and his staff to do what they need to do? Or are you still like crunching in time?
What were those days again?
So we do the agenda setting the first Wednesday of the month, like we always have. We do the work session the second Wednesday of the month, and we do a regular board meeting the third Wednesday of the month instead of that Monday. Would us keeping the Wednesday setting session, the Wednesday work session, and changing only the meeting from a Monday to a Wednesday, would that make sense? You know, and I'm talking out loud. Would it allow us to do what we have to do as far as the posting? We're mandated to do that, and still leave you with a little bit of wiggle room to either add items or pull items prior to posting the official agenda.
Yes, Mr. Ruiz, and trustees, I think you guys are on it. It's like Mr. Montes is, it's going to be the same day of the week would help us out tremendously as a staff. So if it's either a Monday, the only thing with Mondays is, as it's like y'all's job, right? Mondays are, being a teacher, those are the toughest days. One of the toughest days is Mondays and Fridays, of course, because all the subs. So, and there's a lot of holidays on Monday. So we're going to have a lot of Monday, Tuesdays kind of type of deals. Well, it'd have to be a Wednesday because we can't post on Monday, right? So whatever y'all agree on, it needs to be kind of like the same. And then the community will know it's consistency, right? They'll know that we're meeting on, Harlandale always meets on Thursdays, except for one Thursday out of the month, right? Or every Wednesday. So we can keep consistency with the community. They'll know we're meeting on those days. So just my 2 cents.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Ms. Salazar.
and then question, is it mandatory to have a work session, or would we be able to just have our agenda setting, have all our information, and then the board review the information and submit their questions to the superintendent by a certain time frame?
Man, that's a 50-50. And I'm telling you, because if we have presentations and we vote on it, it's going to be a very long meeting. One of the reasons why we did the work session, per our LSG coach and per the conservator who was here, it was to not make those regular board meetings so long and not have to pull items that we could not get enough information from the presenters. Ideally, I would love that, just have one meeting for everything, but I don't know if we're ready for it right now. As far as, let's cut the Wednesday work session loose and then just bring it on a Monday or a Wednesday or whatever it is, a regular board meeting. That's what, however long we're spending here today, add that to the regular board meeting. So if it was an hour and a half regular board meeting, now it might be 2.5 or 3, depending on how long the presentations are. But I totally get what you're saying, and maybe in the future we will be there. Those are just my thoughts. Anybody else?
Madam Chair, I have to agree with the Wednesday. I just think it makes more sense. It's consistent and it gives everybody the time that they need. So I like that.
Let me ask you this. Is this item, when are we going to vote on this? Is it for this coming Monday?
Yes, because the law goes into effect September 1.
Yeah, and we don't have any more meetings after that,
No.
after this coming Monday. Okay. Well, if anybody else has any comments or suggestions between now and Friday or Thursday, tomorrow, I'm sure you can send an email and address them to Mr. Soto. I won't be here on Monday for the vote, but yeah, obviously, whatever the majority decides, that's what we're gonna move forward with. Ms. Ortiz?
Yeah, I just have a question. We would have to change board operating procedures,
Yes.
and that's what we're going to vote on Monday.
Yes, and then also there is a part of the local policy for BE that talks about, the 72-hour, it references a 72-hour rule, and that's not the rule anymore. So I'll look at them closely. Either we're gonna, for sure, the board operating procedures, because, we want to clarify that. And then we'll adjust BE accordingly to make sure it's consistent with the law and consistent with what we decide. And keep in mind, I will say this, because both of them, one's local policy and then your board operating procedures, you could try it like this for a few months, maybe for the semester. And if it works, great. And then if you need to adjust, you can. You know, y'all can decide whether, okay, maybe we don't need the workshop anymore, or maybe Wednesdays aren't working. Maybe we need to do them on Tuesdays, or whatever the day is. You can, and I know you want to be consistent, you should, but keep in mind that since we're having to do this, you need to figure out what works best for the team.
I have another question. Is the workshop, I can't even remember if the workshop is part of our board operating procedure or it's part of,
It's part of the board operating procedures specifically, yep, on page 9, board workshops, on the Wednesday prior to the regular scheduled meeting. Yeah.
And we began that because we were LSG training, and that was something that was suggested.
the regular
but
meetings
were
were going
going on
long.
so long
Yeah.
with a lot of questions and discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Any other comments, suggestions? No? Well, this will be on the agenda for Monday as an individual item.
Yes.
So mull it over, folks, and then vote what you think is best. Anything else on agenda item 14 for right now? And again, if you come up with a better idea or email Mr. Soto, he'll address it with Mr. Resendez, and then you can open discussion individually with them as to what your idea, if it's something we can implement or not, and then Monday we'll do the vote. So, yeah, I see that. Okay, next agenda item is 15, but before we get there, I wanted to address something that happened last week. So I try to be as clear and transparent and consistent when I hold the meetings, but this is not my meeting. This is a meeting that I lead with the help of my colleagues. And it was brought to my attention last week that I haven't been consistent. And so I want to apologize to my colleagues. I want to apologize to the community. And I want to remind the community and my colleagues that I lead the meeting, but this is not my meeting. So at any point in any meeting, whether it's a work session, whether it's a special call, whether it's a regular board meeting, if I have to be redirected, by all means, redirect me. We are each a voice here on this dais, and we respect each other, and we're professional. And if I miss something or forget something or have to they have to, reel me in again, please do so. I only ask that you do it in a professional and respectful manner, the way we all on this board continue to be with one another. So I want to thank my colleagues for making me aware that I haven't been consistent, because I try to pride myself on being consistent, but I have failed. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. And please, at any time that I need to be redirected, please do that at a special call, at a regular board meeting, at a work session. This is not my meeting. I am just leading it. This is our meeting. So I wanted to thank my colleagues for bringing that to my attention. Something else that I wanted to say was we had a very energetic convocation. It was like I was walking into Frontier Bowl. That whole energy and we're number one and we've got this and we're going to do it again was just amazing. A lot of campuses, or most our campuses, were there, and everybody was happy and thrilled. Although we were melting in the sun, we were still happy. That outweighed whatever the temperature wasn't agreeing with us. Because we are not just a district of teachers and students, we're a district that holds a lot of people accountable to the success of our students. I wanted to mention some of our departments because it takes every single person in this district to make our children successful. Our students are successful because of everyone that is under the umbrella for Harlandale ISD. So a big shout out to the superintendent's office, maintenance and operations, security and police department, transportation, athletics, warehouse, human resources, benefits department, information services, finance, business office, the payroll office, print shop purchasing, child nutrition, curriculum and instruction, career and technical education, college and career readiness, early childhood department, bilingual, ESL, fine arts, gifted and talented, STEM department, PE and wellness, libraries, language arts and reading, mathematics, science, social studies, pupil personnel, special education, student and family support services, and communications. Without the people that are in these departments, this district and our students would not be successful. So we love our teachers, we love our campus staff, but we love every single one of everybody that's here under that umbrella. We are grateful to you all. We appreciate that hard work because it literally takes all of us to have success when it comes to our students' education. So thank you, everyone that I mentioned tonight and the campuses that were mentioned last week. We are all part of this huge successful family. Do I have a motion for, or any comments or discussion?
Just a comment, Madam Chair. And Mr. Soto made a grand announcement that next year's convocation is hopefully indoors.
It will be it'll be indoors and not Dr. Noor, so we're gonna have a great talk.
Maybe next year we'll need a light jacket because it might be so cold in there. Anybody else before we move to adjourn tonight's meeting?
Madam Chair, just to address
Lewis?
the community, we had a great, I think, first day of school. I got to visit 3 campuses and everybody has their talents and so I hope we kick off a bright new day and have a successful year.
Thank you, Mr. Luna. Anybody else? Is there a motion on the table to adjourn tonight's meeting?
Madam Chair, I move to adjourn.
Thank you, Ms. Reese. Is there a second on Ms. Reese's motion?
Madam Chair, I second.
Thank you, Ms. Salazar. Will we open up the voting to adjourn tonight's meeting? Voting is closed. Motion to adjourn tonight's meeting passes. It is 7:07. Everybody have a good evening and a good rest of the week.